by telling us the answers.
Okay, good morning again, everyone.
Good morning, Miss.
Okay, today we're basically, repeat that, Dana.
Oh, I said you started recording. I said, can we get a day off?
All right, today we are basically reviewing what we have done.
Yay.
There are some minor things that we're going to go through. Basically the use of some of the materials that we tend to incorporate in our lessons. If you looked, you would have seen that I did put up the lesson plan as discussed. Yes. I still haven't given feedback on the other two yet, but I will do so in short order. So you were engaged in a part of the revision activity, which was a crossword puzzle. Now, I use specific wording to not give away some of those clues to sort of get you thinking. And you would have found out by now that some of these answers were more than one word. So it was a little bit challenging, which is the whole aim of it. All right, so I'm going to go through it with you and I'm going to give you the answers. So the first one that says, going across outlines the levels of thinking cognitively. What did you have?
The class said Bloom's taxonomy, led by Rosalind, said Bloom's taxonomy.
Okay, which is correct.
Yay, Rosalind, that's one US.
Okay, so that's Bloom's taxonomy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then I'm just completing them as you go. Then 3 across, used to record suggestions from students. What do you have?
Brainstorm.
Led by Talia.
But you have brainstorm?
Yes, led by Talia.
Brailstorm. Interesting.
There's another word.
And the word that should go there, that letter there, that is the correct letter that fits in that intersection. But it's not brainstorm, it's whiteboard.
It's what?
Whiteboard. No, miss. Brainstorm.
Used to record suggestions. Used to record suggestions from students. And you can have blackboard or whiteboard, anyone.
Oh, okay. I was just about to ask. All right.
Okay.
Nobody got that?
No. We didn't.
If you had brainstorm, you see where the R is. That's where it would have been an R in brainstorm or whiteboard. So the correct letter would have been there.
But you have to record the suggestions when you brainstorm. That's the whole point. If you don't record it, then hello.
All right. So 4, being in control of all aspects of your class. What is that?
Rosalind suggested and we concurred that the answer is classroom management.
And it fitted, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it is classroom management.
Yay.
Number 6 can be done by document computer teacher. Which one is that?
The eater. Speak. Ophelia.
Specialist. Go ahead.
Tutorial.
Tutorial, yes, that is correct. And
you don't eat for nothing, Ophelia.
Mm-hmm.
Repeat. All right. Then number 10, expectation times value times climate equals
motivation.
Motivation.
Pick up yourself, Rosalind.
Thumbs up for me, $3 so far.
All right. Woo. Then guide in instruction delivery would be your
lesson plan.
Lesson plan.
Lesson plan, okay. Then imitation of the operation of a real world process is
simulation.
Simulation. Beautiful.
By yours truly.
Okay. And the last one across, to cause to learn by example or experience is?
A model.
You have model? Anybody else?
No, miss, we're backing our speaker.
It's actually teach. It is 5 letters, just like model, but it's teach.
No wonder that was couldn't fit.
I didn't use a definition from one of the presentations. I just took a definition from outside. And it says to cause to learn by example or experience. All right, so going down, number 2, just knowing enough to pass an exam.
Surface learning, what we are all in danger of doing. Somewhere around Monday morning.
Oh, surface learning. I think we're past that, Taylor. I think we've done quite a bit to
you
go
think highly of us. Bless yourself. You think highly.
I have to have high expectations for my students.
That's important. Having just gone through this puzzle, we know that some areas are definitely.
All right, number 5, must be clear and specific to each lesson.
Objectives.
Objectives. That is 5 down.
That is Dana's 3rd US. 2nd US, 3rd US. Mm-hmm.
All right. An attribute of constructivism needed for the world of work. What did you have for that? Number 7 down.
Collaboration.
What you had?
Collaboration.
Collaboration, exactly.
Where Dana picks up more money.
I hope I remember on Monday.
All right. 8 down. Type of questioning to promote logical thinking.
Roslyn.
What you have, Roslyn? Socratic. Beautiful. That is correct. And the last one, did you guys get that? Was the last one you were puzzling about?
Yes, that's the one we were freaking out about. Come, miss, put us out of our misery.
Okay, theory about different types of memory.
Give us a clue, miss.
You're still not giving up?
Yeah, give us a clue.
The name of the theory or the
it's
theory?
It's something that the computer does. The computer, it's a part of the cycle in the computer, in the phases of what the...
That's great, miss. Now we definitely won't know it.
Let me take you out of your misery. It's
Please.
Information processing theory.
Seriously?
Oh, Lord. Processing, I can process.
Oh, this exam is going to kill me. Just information processing. Okay. I have Atkinson and Schifrin. Knowledge something. No, information processing.
Knowledge, everything.
Different types of,
Theory. Bring that theory threw people off. The theory threw us off.
Theory threw you off. Okay. But
we all
there is an information processing theory.
Miss went into IT and we were gone into philosophy.
Okay. Well, what happened is, remember we looked at the theories and we looked at some of the theorists, and we looked at Atkins and Schifrin. We looked at information processing theory along with all of those other people. Yes. So
I remember Atkinson and Schifrin doing a memory model, and that was the end of my surface learning.
And that was it.
I think theory is the word that threw us out. Probably
the theory.
There was characteristic about different types of memory, maybe. would have got, come
So
close.
you're looking more like constructivism or...
Yeah, looking like some theory, head into some theory and looking.
Okay. All right. Maybe that's why I put that one. So, that you had to be really thinking about that one. All right. So anybody got 13?
No.
Okay, 12. 11. 10.
We got 11 because we didn't get teach and we didn't get the last.
Brainstorm.
We had brainstorm, so that was wrong.
Right.
And we didn't get number 9.
Each.
Everybody got everything else.
So you got 10.
So we got 3 wrong, right?
1, 2, right.
3 wrong we got.
Okay, that's good. That's very good.
Because we didn't get blackboard, we didn't get whiteboard.
Right.
Okay, you put blackboard. If you had blackboard, I would have accepted.
No.
Blackboard
I
or
said we didn't get this one. We didn't have that. We had brainstorm.
Okay.
Would you have accepted green board?
Anything
If your board is colored in green,
Yeah.
and that's what you write on, then I think I could. It would fit in the space anyway. So I think I would fit it.
If your classroom does not have a board and you record things in a book, then Miss says you're wrong. I'm just saying.
No, but the whole point of a board is that whatever it is you write on it, then everybody's able to see it. So there must be something that you write on. Whether it's a flip
Did not say you are recording suggestions that the students must be able to see. It just says recording suggestions. I'm just saying.
Okay. So I must add that part next time.
Next time, yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. I realize the 2 gentlemen are not here, but I have some materials that I am going to ask each of you to just find some information on, and you're going to put together 5 do's and 5 don'ts when using these specific materials. I'm going to give you them shortly. Sorry. A number of times we incorporate them in our lessons. Let's take PowerPoint, for example. PowerPoint is one of the most used, one of the most used tools. By far the most used presentation software. And I learned that PowerPoint was really created for the business world. And so if you have a talk with Dr. Morris, or Dr. Morris is coming to assess you, it is advised that you don't use PowerPoint. You try to use something else, because it tends to be so overused and we tend not to use it in an effective manner. For myself, and I can speak from experience, previously when you wanted the notes to be available, you just paste everything in the presentation and you make it available. So, sorry. But that is not how it's supposed to be used. So I have that on the list as well. And in addition, I have Blackboard, projector, textbook, computers. Since there are only 5 of you here now, I'm just going to work with those 5 for now, and I'm going to assign each of you 1. So I'm giving Thalia Blackboard. I'm just going in order for what I'm seeing you on the screen. Rosalind, I'm giving you projector. Dane, I'm giving you presentation software. Put PowerPoint, Microsoft PowerPoint. I'm giving you textbook, Jessica. I'm giving you Ophelia, I'm giving you computer. I know Dexton is there, but Dexton is just listening, so I will just allow Dexton to continue listening. And what I want you to do, each of you, put together a list of 5 do's, not more than 5. So if you put together 5 do's and 5 don'ts when you're using these materials in your lesson. I'm going to give you.
Put it in something electronically so we can share it.
If
Should we put it in something electronic so that we can share it?
Maybe a Google Doc or maybe a wiki. Let me arrange that space.
How long do we have to come up with the 5?
10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so I started a forum and I put a topic called teaching materials. What you do when you're ready to submit those that you've created, your do's and don'ts, just reply to the link. Just reply beside the statements I have posted. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is what I've posted. Teaching materials. When using materials in your lessons, here are some tips. To the right-hand side, you should see edit, delete, reply. So just reply to that, and then you can paste what you've typed, you can paste it in that box. All right, so 10 minutes have passed. Yes, Dana.
I'm not done yet.
All right, I'm going to give you going to give you 2 more minutes, and then you
Oh my
just
God.
share what you have.
Okay. All right then.
All right, I'm assuming that you are finished or near finished. All right, so first I want you to share, and then you can post it to the forum. So anyone can go ahead and start.
All right, Miss, I'll go.
Thanks, Delia.
No problem. I am going to share my screen. And there's my document. Everybody can see that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so for those who've been living on planet Mars, I've included an introduction. What is a blackboard? Blackboard is also called a chalkboard, typically called blackboard because it is black, but it comes in a variety of colors these days. In the States, they use a lot of green, but crafters have become very enamored of chalkboard paint, and so it is in every color of the rainbow. You use a talc-based chalk to write on it, and it allows for you to pretty much, it's a blank slate, so you can draw anything of any size, you can write anything of any size, and it tends to be a treat for students, the younger ones. They fight to write on the board, head up the board, rub off the board, anything related to the board. So my do's and don'ts, 5 each, 5 do's. Let me just make this a little bigger. Everybody can see my do's and my don'ts?
Fairly.
Good. All right, so my first do is keep the board clean. The more you use it, you tend to have residue, and in this day and age, you especially have students that have issues with cleanliness. I've had students in the past for my whiteboard freak out completely because there was a little leftover tip of an A or a G or something. You know, it's in the corner, you can't really rub all the way over there, but you need to keep the board clean. That means from time to time it needs to be washed, or you need to use some sort of a chemical or treatment or something to remove all the residue. It really does get in the way. The second thing is write legibly. It doesn't matter if you're an expert at presentation, an expert at handwriting, make an effort not to show them your crab toe the same way you want them to make an effort to write properly, because you're modeling the good behavior. The third thing is use colored chalk for interest. And I suppose this would apply to whiteboards as well. You want to use the colored markers for interest. A little color, a little variation. You can't change your handwriting. The most you can do is write in caps, write in lowercase, change the color, underline some things, put a shape around it. That's it. Erase distracting material. That's my 4th tip. So if you were teaching, let's say it's Dana, and Dana is teaching one of her 18 different subjects, and she taught account 2 minutes ago. The bell has rung, and now she's ready to teach, I don't know, food and nutrition. Rub off the accounts thing so you can move on to the food and nutrition. Do not distract them with leftover things. Even if it was the same class, you've moved from one topic to another, you were doing problem solving, and now you're moving into Pascal. Unless they're related in some way, erase it. And the last do is consider the students at the back of the room. You are writing, you are speaking, you are presenting. The people at the front are fine. The people at the back might barely be hearing you and not seeing what's on the board at all. So you want to make sure you consider them. My don'ts. Don't be the only one writing on the board. Involve the students. As mentioned before, students love to be able to write on the board. Most of them, not all. So give them a chance. Remember that, as Miss has said time and time again, you have different strategies, and all of the strategies do not include you being the sole distributor of this bank of knowledge that you've got in your brain. Lucky you. Sometimes they have to be the one to generate it. They have to be the one to discover it. And so you allow them to write on the board. Don't be inconsistent in how you use the board. Get to a point where you're doing similar things each time. So if the little note about the homework is always at the top left-hand corner of the board, that's where you keep it. Don't decide that today you're going to keep it at the bottom and tomorrow you're going to put it on the right-hand side. Somebody coming in late going to be confused. It's nice if the students know they can always look at the top left-hand corner. That's where the homework is, or the thought of the day, or the keywords, or the topic, or the objective, or whatever it is. Don't use it only for writing. You can put up your charts, you can put up your flashcards, you can present onto the board, providing that it's clean and you've rubbed off all of the distracting material right there now. And then the 4th item is don't rub off the material before the students have time to copy it off. Give them a chance to write off their notes or just to look at it and make sure you're not taking based on what you have. And the last thing is, don't use the board without some plan of what is to be written. So you're not haphazardly writing anything you feel like. You're writing down keywords in your lesson plan. There should be something that says you're going to write to the board, or you're going to write the comments that the students make on the blackboard, not on the brainstorm. That is my comment. Anybody have anything to say about this? Anyone?
Thank you, Taylor. There's only, well, you mentioned it, but one thing I want to add is that the blackboard or whiteboard, it is supposed to be used to take suggestions when students are doing an activity or something like that, to write down homework, a number of things that maybe you want the students to know, but it's not effective for note taking. It's not suggested that you write the notes on the blackboard. Just as how someone is doing presentation software after, but it's not suggested that you write the notes on the board. So you use the blackboard for recording suggestions or writing down homework, something you want the students to note. Okay? So maybe you could add that somewhere if you haven't. All right. I think that's it. I think now that Taylor presented, everybody's like, okay, but I didn't do that. So now Taylor set the trend.
Ha, 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 ha.
That's the trend to follow. But before we move on, you said we should not use the blackboard to write notes.
Notes. Mm-hmm.
But in a secondary
people do. But they're saying that researchers, theorists, educators, it is not to be used to write to notes, and just as how we don't suggest that you do dictating for students to take notes, right? It's mainly
for handouts all the time.
Repeat that.
So we're supposed to
make handouts. You don't have to make handouts. There are other ways that students can get information. They can create their own, and you have them write down what they have created or formulated or come up with in terms of definition and so on. So you don't have to always write. I mean, I remember when we went to primary school and let's say we're doing the digestive system or parts of and the teacher wrote everything, and you have to be writing when the teacher is writing, because when the teacher runs out of space, the teacher is going to erase that part, and yes, going to write again, and even if the teacher puts a drawing on there, you better draw it as well in your book and so on and so forth. They are not suggesting that
because you know your handwriting never going to look that cute ever.
Yeah, but you have to do what you make sure that it in your book. So when you get home and mommy looks in your book, it's there.
Yes.
So, yeah, but
being like a problem in the secondary school, because right now, as I said, we have universal education where all students are supposed to go to a secondary school, whether they're at the level for the secondary school or not.
Okay.
Because not everybody at the same level. So you find those who cannot spell, so you have to be writing, on the board. Make sure you put the notes there so they could, because they're very slow. Some of them are very slow. Some of them are way ahead. And you could pick up and make their own notes, but then you have to cater for all. And that's one way that I normally ensure that the students get the information is by leaving the notes, writing the notes on the board. I might not write everything, but the general points and stuff so they could
Okay. All right. I understand what you're saying. And there are several reasons why you'd want to do that also, because there are some students, as you said, at different levels, and so you might call a word and students are writing something in the book, but it's not the word that you called. And so you want to make sure that they're all on the same page. And so you write it for them to see it. So it's, I see what you're saying. I guess it depends on the situation. It does. There is a document, I'm not finding it, but as soon as I find it, then I'll make it available to speaks to the effective use of the chalkboard, right? It has a number of things in it. I'm not finding it also. It's the same document that talks about when you go on a field trip, what are some of the things you need to do before, during, and after the field trip, and so on. So as soon as I find that document, I will make it available to everyone. So in the meantime, let's go to the next one. Who is going next? Who?
Oh, I'm not, it's not like failures, but it is.
Are you going there now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Wait. It's Dana. Who is going now?
It's me,
Okay.
Dana.
All right. Go ahead, Dana.
Okay, I had PowerPoint presentation. So it's options. It's the do's and don'ts. Okay, using PowerPoint in the classroom. So the do's, you could use PowerPoint to help structure your content and show how the ideas are organized and related to one another. It also helps like to graphically represent content. Instead of just speaking, you could use graphics. It adds visual interest to content. It facilitates note taking, and of course, it enhances your lecture presentation.
Okay.
Am I missing out anything?
No. Continue.
Really, are you okay? Okay, and the don'ts I have is when you're presenting, you do not read word for word. You try to paraphrase, try to change the words around so students, they could easily understand what you have. You don't use too much information on one slide. You don't make it congested because students will become easily bored, and then they might lose their focus. Do not use too many fancy cartoons and other animations that students will get distracted. And that's all I have for the don'ts. I can't figure out any.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's 3 of them.
Okay, so don't put too much information on one side. Don't read word for word.
Too many.
Again, don't you try to
cartoons. Try to limit them. You can use them, but you limit them so that students won't be distracted on the cartoon or the animation.
Right. You have little GIF images dancing on the side, and then every time the slide changes, you hear boom and all those sound effects and so on. So you want to be modest to keep the students focused. One of the things that, well, you had mentioned it, but some things that we need to bear in mind when we are using the fonts, the size. If you put too much information on it, the size of the font is going to automatically decrease. So the words will get smaller. But also you have to be mindful of the colors that you use, so that they don't fade into the back, whatever the background is, so that it's difficult for persons to see what is going on. All right, I'm not sure if there's anything else. I think you pretty much said.
Anybody?
Repeat that, Dana.
No, I'm just asking if anybody has any other additions.
Anyone? Okay. Anyone else wants to add to this?
No? Okay, I'm going to stop sharing.
All right. Thank you, Dana. And who will go next? Is that Rosalind? All right.
Okay. Can you see? All right. Yeah, I got projector. Using the projector as a teaching aid. I'll begin with the don'ts, and then I'll just move across to the do's. The first don't I have is don't use a projector as a blackboard or a replacement. And I have your teachers need to know the tool for the cause. You know, sometimes, you know, everybody get in the heat of technology and everybody wants to use the projector. And when they use the projector, they feel like, yeah, I've taught. But if there's no need for the projector, then it should not be used. So the do's is when developing lessons, determine if you really need to have the projector as the whole on the, if you need to have the projector on the whole time. And I have a little extra in bracket. If you are just projecting a sentence, use the Blackboard. If your students already have the work in hand on their laptop or paper, you do not need the projector. So basically use it when you have to. Another don't is don't assume your audience can see what you can see. The person presenting is usually close to the laptop and can see everything clearly. But those in the back of the room may not be able to see things as well. So what do? It is important that you remember to zoom in and out so that your audience can best view what you are projecting. Another don't is don't waste instructional time fumbling with projector setup. You know, sometimes you go to teach and that's the time you know, looking for every wire, everything to plug on your projector. So what do? You could have a student or you could have a responsible student, or you could have, in certain schools there, you know, there is the technician that you could call on. So you could ask that person beforehand and have them set up the projector at the start of the lesson, or if you get a chance, even before the start of your lesson. Another don't is don't point with your finger. Every computer comes equipped with a free electronic pointer, and it's called a cursor. So basically you don't need to run to the board to point at the screen. So you just use your computer and you control your cursor, and so the students are able to see, you know, what you are pointing to. And the last one, don't project a small and or crooked image. Make sure the image fills the entire space onto which you are projecting, and adjust your projector manually. See, because if what you're projecting is too small, not because it's a projector that you are going to see magic. So it's better you, as I say, fill the entire space that you are projecting and adjust your projector manually so people are able to see clearly what you are projecting. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Roslyn. I don't think there's anything I have to add. Nobody else? No? Okay, I think that was quite clear.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. And I think Jessica was,
I would add one thing to Roslyn's.
Yes.
Which is learn the basics about the projector. At least learn how to turn it on, turn it off, focus.
Connect it.
Many teachers are excited to use it, but they don't know how to set it up. They don't know how to focus it. If it suddenly goes off because you haven't used it in 15 minutes, they don't know what that is. They don't know what the flashing light means. When you tell them the bulb, they're just lost. So at least if you're going to use a projector, at least talk to the lab tech or somebody who used it before to get a cursory introduction. Or turn it on or turn it off.
Okay.
Yeah. Roslyn agrees.
All right. That's a good one. All right. So, who's next?
I'll go next.
Okay, Jessica.
Yeah, so I got textbooks. Now, I didn't get a chance to type it because I had to be running up and down. So for textbooks, first they have to be appropriate for the level of students that you have. If you're using a textbook, they can't have big words that you know the students are not going to understand. That's number one. when it's good if you're using a textbook that you assign the reading for homework so the students can read whatever they need to read beforehand, research words that they don't understand so that when they come into class, they already have that knowledge. Because sometimes when you assign reading in class, the students just breeze through it and they don't really understand what they're reading. Make sure that the information in the textbooks are also relevant for the topic that you are teaching. And when using a textbook in class, it's good to have the students read out loud. It helps them build their confidence when it comes to public speaking. It helps them with their spelling and also reading, which they need for English, well, in all other subjects. Now, the don'ts I have is that should not be the only form of teaching that you use, because I know there are some teachers that would just assign students reading. They ask you to read this paragraph or read this page, and then they give you questions to answer. So that should not be the only form of teaching, and that also should not be the only resource that you use in the classroom. All right?
Yes.
You also need to get your information from other sources. And when you assign reading, don't just assume that the students understand what they have read. Okay, always need to go back and assess and explain what they read. And that's all the don'ts I got.
Okay. All right, thank you. And last one.
Here am I.
Okay, great. Mm-hmm. I feel I look very relaxed.
I have to, I'm tired.
I think that's all of us.
Well, that's a summer.
Oh, believe me, it's all of us.
My worst summer.
Your worst? Oh my gosh. I'm not going to ask you why it's your worst.
Okay. All right. 5 do's and 5 don'ts for using a computer in a classroom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting with the negative first. Do not turn on the internet unless you are told to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Do not eat next to the computer. Do not personalize computer, as in do not change the desktop background or screensaver. Do not install or download any software from the internet or any other source.
Mm-hmm.
The do's: if you have any problem when using the computer, call the teacher. Set up the computer system before in order to avoid wasting time. Turn on the computer when you are told to do so. Cover the computer when you are finished using it. Turn off the computer when you are finished using it. That's it.
That's it? Okay. The first part that you said, do not turn on the internet unless you're told to do so. I'm going to take it from a teacher's standpoint. And if you find that you're not going to be using the internet or not going to need access to the internet, then I would advise you to unplug or disconnect or something from the internet, because that's a huge distraction. Number one site that students go on, Facebook. And automatically everybody's on there looking at people's profile information and so on and so forth. And when you come around, they minimize it and think, oh, Miss wouldn't know. But we know what to look for. So that's a very important one. So don't just leave it to them. Don't turn on internet unless, but put it in your hands and make sure that there's some schools that have installed some applications that you can control the computers from an administrator's desk. So you can use those applications. I can't remember anyone right now.
Yeah, we have that here.
Okay, well, yes. So it would be best that the administrator do that, block the internet or whatever it is. If you realize that the student is going on things that they're not supposed to be going into, then you take control of that computer and so on. All right. Some of the things you must also you have to guide the students and time them, because they will go on the computer, be distracted, and think they have all day, and so you find that they are not very productive during the time that they are sitting there. So you have to also guide them, and time is important. Is there anything else anybody else wants to add?
No, Miss, you covered it. I was going to talk about that same blocking sites thing.
Okay. No? All right. What we're going to do now, we're going to take our half an hour break. Then we're going to come back. We're going to go over some minor things, do a little bit more revision. Yes, I'm going to talk about your exam. And I think that pretty much would sum up the rest of our class. Okay? So we have half an hour break, and I will, yes?
Before we go, on the lesson plan, you say that we are not to use it. Do you mean we're not to use that topic, or we're not to use that plan?
We're not to use that plan in your portfolio.
Okay.
Yes.
What if our plan happens to look kind of like yours? I mean, great minds think alike.
I know. But no. You're so creative. You can think of several other ways to, teach that topic.
Once again, Miss proves that she is her expectations. Wow. Okay then.
Okay. You can do it. I know you can.
Miss?
Yes.
I'm seeing a container for an assignment is overdue by 266 days, 11 hours.
No, ignore that. Ignore that. I need to put a link for your portfolio, which I'm going to do at the top of the container. I will just do that right now in the break.
Okay, but you said that whatever we just did, the do's and the don'ts, we should put it up where exactly?
In the forum.
There's a forum.
Okay.
If you look, the forum should be at towards the bottom of the container. Let me just make sure. Yes, do's and don'ts when using materials. It's on topic 11, week 8.
Okay.
All right.
Mary, excuse me.
Yes.
I created a Dropbox account, and I placed 2 files in there, and I gave you access. Did you get any information?
I got the email.
Okay.
Yes. Thanks.
So I will be putting whatever files that are too big, I'll be putting them in there for you.
Okay, no problem. I haven't downloaded them yet, but I will do that later.
Okay then.
Yes. All right, so I'll see you in half an hour.
I'm using the remaining. Hi, Miss. How are you? I'm not hearing you so clearly.
Okay. You should be hearing me now.
Yes, I am.
I saw you. I saw when you came on. I hope all went well this morning.
I hope so too.
Okay. When we've done our best, all we can do is pray.
Quite so.
Yeah. Well, we're doing some revision earlier. We're going to do a little bit more of that, but we're going to talk a little bit about our test, our final exam, when the others come on. Let me see. Yes.
I Miss Courtney wouldn't even come and keep your company. Boy.
I was just thinking that this was a planned thing.
Oh no. I got up this morning and I was just over it.
Okay.
I said, oh no.
Well, at least Miss knew my estate. If anyone abandoned anyone, it would be you.
Says the person who left me in the Gideon by myself all of last week. The one chance I have to say yes is going to experience what it is like. But oh no, Courtney has to run and it's fine, you know. It is fine. I am
All right.
run to Dominica or St. Lucia, you see? My classmates would not be doing that to me.
You're welcome to come to St. Lucia, Courtney. You sure get a teaching job very fast.
Thank you, Dana.
You're offering Courtney, not me?
I heard it loud and clear, Taylor.
Don't worry, Failure. There's a special place for you.
Where's you, Taylor? The camera.
Yes, it is kind of fuzzy. I have no idea how to fix it, but you get a shape that kind of is me-ish.
You can recognize it.
Yeah, it's very sad. You brought things for us. Courtney don't deserve any. You brought things for us. You shimmy up the coconut tree in the time. Oh, that's that. I just.
Look, Courtney has something.
All right, then. Okay. No, it's okay.
Courtney has KFC.
Burger King, fresh yourself. Him step up in life. Him leaving KFC and go to Burger King.
All right. Let's get back on track. All right, what I'm going to do is I mentioned a document that I'm still trying to find. Can't seem to locate. So I'm going to leave that for now. Right. Oh, it should be. 1 second. In the meantime, what I want you to do is just to think back on anything that we've done. If there's an area that you still have a little bit of difficulty with, then we could probably talk about that a little bit before we go into what else.
The students would say everything, miss.
Note how I phrased my question. If there is an area Singular?
Yes, a very big area. It started on the first day.
Really, I'm not expecting this from you.
When I wake up this morning and realize when the exam was, and I went into a bit of panic, just a toops.
Just a tips. No need to panic. No need to panic. It's really not. I tell you, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. All right. All right. So, is there any area that anybody has a problem with that they want to mention now that we want to maybe go over, that we want to just talk about a little bit?
All of my questions, Miss, are about how much detail we need to know.
You're a surface learner, aren't you?
I'm trying not to be, Miss, but I was just saying to somebody yesterday that it's your appreciation for the new things don't come until months later. Mm-hmm. So right now, I'm still recognizing things from Sister One. So Lord only knows when my appreciation for this stuff is going to come. Maybe Valentine's Day.
Next year.
27th.
That's what I thought. Next year.
Yeah, we can only hope. But like the role of the teacher, I think I'm okay with, mostly because we've been hearing it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But the theorists, do you want us to remember the theory, the theorist's name? What?
It helps that you remember all right, you need to know the theory, the basic elements of the theory, what it's about. It would help if you knew the theorist's name, but it's more important that you know how it's applicable in education, right? So, for lack of a better word, I'm not going to ask you to swap these things. I wouldn't ask you, I don't want you to swap these things, but I think maybe going through the material, maybe some of your experiences or some of what we've discussed would help you to remember it, to be able to, if such a question arises, then you'll be able to answer that question. That's about, I hope I answered your question. Of course, I'm not going to go into all the theories. I'm not going to. Yes, Dana?
No, I was just coming to say before that part you added. And so in other words, you want us to know about all of them?
No. All right, I needed to know about what Vygotsky theorizes about, but he talks about scaffolding. He also talks about the zone of proximal development. So it's good to know about Vygotsky. Also, I don't really examine much on behaviorists. So, for example, talking about classical conditioning and operant conditioning and those theories, I kind of tend to leave them out. I want you to know information processing theory.
Miss,
Yes.
how many multiple choice questions?
All right. Normally, I don't have a specific number. I just give you a total number of questions, and then I just say includes multiple choice, includes so and so and so. But
Okay, so
for your
the
sake,
question-
since you like to know these things, I could work with a number. So I could give you all right, I'll give you 15 multiple choice.
How many? 50?
15 multiple choice. 5 short answer. Two matching and 3 essay types.
2 what?
Matching. I see.
Essay types. 3.
Yes.
Okay, that's 25. You know all about that?
Yes.
So the essay types, we do them in the exam self.
Yes.
I mean, in
Yeah.
the
You will
the
get
model.
space to type the answer. And remember, when I say essay, it's not, don't expect to write 2,000 words with 5, 10, 15, 20 paragraphs. It just means that it requires a lengthy answer. So it can be point format, okay?
And will I be pushing it if I ask, could give some clues as to what the essays will be on?
Yes, you are being pushy. But I guess nothing is wrong with being optimistic, huh?
Miss,
Yes.
are you going to give us maybe some examples of some of the questions? Well, not the questions that will come in the exam, but, you know, for example, if you could give us a question that would resemble one of your essay type, you know, one of your short answers, so to speak.
All right. Just give me a. Let me see if I can find something that.
But Miss, you have not given us anything much as to what study guide or what to study on.
I am still contemplating what to exclude.
Okay.
I'm looking for a practice quiz for Rosalind. 1 second. Go ahead and talk. I'm listening.
Yes, I was just wondering, did you ever mention how long the exam would be?
2 hours.
Oh, okay, 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And the essay type questions are like how many marks per question?
It depends.
Okay. All right. I know with CXC, we're encouraged to look at the marks, you know, to give us an idea of what to write or how much to write.
Or how much time to allocate on that.
Yes, I don't know if the same will apply for the type of questions you're going to give us.
Could apply, but it's not. I think you'll have ample time to do it. That's why I've limited the number of questions. You should have ample time to do those. The multiple choice questions shouldn't take long. Short answer, matching, those shouldn't take long. So you should have ample time to complete the essay types. And remember, again, I said they're not necessarily, so if you have issues with typing a lot, there won't be questions that require you to answer 10 paragraphs. It's a matter of you putting in an answer, it can be done in point format and not marking for a continuous essay to make sure that one flows into the other and so on and so forth. So.
Okay. The last, I think we were doing an exam once, and as if we were told to, I'm not sure, but as if it requires something about drawing a table. And I am having difficulty with using the editor in our VLE.
Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't ask
table because, okay.
No, I wouldn't ask.
Because I think we would need at least a little.
I would just tell you to put it in point format. I
okay.
would just put like 1, 2.
Well, thank you very much.
Bullets or, yeah, I would.
Because that editor looks difficult. I would need a tutorial on that.
And sometimes you're not able to access the features in the editor.
Yeah. All right.
So I don't bother with that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Anybody else? What else? Ask questions.
So basically, we go over the entire container.
That's what I'm thinking.
I am looking. 1 second.
Miss, you're difficult, eh? You're very difficult.
I am
I'm
difficult.
still having issues because there are a lot of things in the container. I don't know how deep to go, especially on those large 30 how much page documents.
Yes, Celia, I feel it too, reading all this.
I'm going to leave it them, Taylor. Just give me 1 second. Let me.
Excuse me, Miss Nana, I'm gonna stand up for you now.
Thank you.
I don't agree with Ophelia that you're difficult.
With what she gave this morning, the puzzle?
Nah. I think the puzzle was the most exciting. It was nice.
That puzzle was a simple puzzle. Oh,
yes. And I'm sure Miss said that she was gonna take her time to go through that long pile of documents, and she's going to do some selections for us. So
okay, Roslyn. Okay, Roslyn.
Did I hear
on Monday? This Monday.
Yeah, but she's going to do that now.
All right, one second. I'm okay. While I do that, I'm going to give you access to a little quiz that you can do in the meantime. I don't know if this is going to help you or scare you or what. I hope it helps more than anything else. Let me just go through it first. Today is the 12th. Are we okay? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Is the puzzle that you gave this morning still available on the link?
Yes, it just look to the top of the container. You'll see review crossword puzzle.
Okay. I'll attempt it if I can.
Okay. All right, 1 second. Let me make one change. Just bear with me a minute. Let me just make a change. All right, so I have a quiz for you. Or you should be able to see it. It says, oh, wait, not yet. Or refresh your container. It says mock quiz. Are you all seeing it? Yes? Are you seeing the mock quiz? Yes, yes. I see some nods. All right, beautiful. I'm going to give you a few minutes to go through it. It's considered an open book test, so you can go ahead and do it now. And then you give me some feedback as to just an idea of, you're getting similar questions to that, right? So you have an idea of as to how the exam will be. I'm going to give you a few minutes. It's actually half an hour. All right, so go ahead and do that. Do the quiz now.
Yes, the key is the password, yes?
Yes, the key is there. Yes. 3 more minutes. I'm assuming you're finished or almost finished.
Mine says 8 minutes, miss, and honestly, I don't think I have anything else left to add.
But you're finished. If you're finished, submit it and see what your grade is. I think
Miss,
you could also
be very
give your answer.
Miss, I'm looking through my notes. Some things I don't recognize
yes.
at all. I'm saying where these words come from, what that mean, what, miss? No, miss.
You're not seeing it?
If this wasn't
no, no. This is on the content in the container. Some of it might have been modified. That is why there was a question there that I had to take out and put in another question that I think you'll be better able to answer. But when you're finished going through it, then I'll go through with you.
Firstly, surface learning is at the other end of the spectrum, where lower order thinking skills are the prospect of speaking up in class. So the card is an ideal lowest way for them to participate. At any point during a class, instead
All right, I think everybody should be finished now. All right, we're all back. All right, that was just to give you an idea of what the exam is. I mean, you're already familiar with your computer-based exams, but it's just to give you an idea of the kinds of questions that you can expect. Let me just open the exam so that I'm looking at it. Anybody wants to share the score? Nobody wants to share the score that they got? No. It was open book. It wasn't that, really?
I tried to do mine from memory.
Okay.
Yes, it would help if the book have something.
And I think open book usually takes more time. So really.
Yes, that's true.
Like I said, Mr. Scary part is when I look at it and I don't recognize none of those terms. You said 10 possible ways to teach, and I went, I don't know what that is. Do you mean teaching strategy?
What
about you have in your mind, sir?
Methods?
I don't know if that's the same thing as teaching strategies. I don't know if it's
Teaching method.
No, just same very thing.
There are demonstration, presentation, and so on and so forth.
Right.
I had cooperative, it gave it to me wrong.
If you had what?
I had cooperative, it gave it to me wrong.
If I give it to you wrong?
No, it gave it to me wrong. I got it wrong.
Okay. It's for the short answer questions, you know that we have to remark. So it's what was missing there, it gave you 8 of the 10 methods. And the ones that were missing were, let me see, tutorial. And what's the other one?
And cooperative.
No, cooperative learning is there already.
Problem solving.
Yes.
And it gave it to me wrong.
Oh, well, I will have to mark it.
Probably because it had one space missed. Did you mean to put in 2 spaces?
2 spaces, yes.
Yes. But if you do put them in 1 space, well, I'll make sure that we don't have that issue. But if you do put them in 1 space, then I would mark it from there. If you see 1 space and it's 2 answers, just put both of them in 1 space.
Yeah. Right.
Which one scared you? Which question scared you?
All of them.
Oh gosh. All right. The answers are all there in either a presentation or it's in a document somewhere, but the answers are all there. What I'm doing here now is to limit what you're getting. I'm going to ask questions from, and I've tried, trying and tried and tried. So this is what I have. If you look in your container, you probably have to refresh. You'll see presentation on teaching programming in Jamaican secondary school. Maybe I should share. Are you seeing it? All right, so teaching programming in Jamaican secondary school. That's the first one. We scroll. I was contemplating whether or not I needed to assess you on Bloom's taxonomy, because you said that that was fresh in your mind and it's something that you did. So maybe what I'll do, that one is a link. So I'll switch this around. So remember the video that we watched? I'll put that one instead. Sorry. All right, I didn't want to okay, there is a reason why I left that. All right, let me put it back. All right, here we go. So you're getting Bloom's taxonomy. If you scroll, understanding learning and how children learn, it's the same. The presentation is based on the PDF document, okay? The lesson planning document really is, if I'm not mistaken, it's a template. It's a template, so I'm going to take that out. I thought I changed that, sorry. I'm changing it so that when you go in the container, you will see. So I don't have to give you a list. You go in the container, you'll be able to see. Planning the curriculum and its content, the presentation and the reading are the same. You won't need to go beyond what is in the presentation. You don't need to go beyond the presentation. Effective lesson planning, I've done. All right, introduction to lesson planning. I'm going to exclude that. I'm going to leave you with effective lesson planning. I am going to leave you take this off so I don't get you confused. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, I have 16 links. It's less than what we started with. I'm going to check out further reading. All right, so you have 15 links that you must look at. Not all of them are documents, some are videos. Quite a few of them are, I mean, they're not lengthy, some are just presentations. All right, I think that should be okay. I really can't think of anything else. All right, so look at the topics. They are teaching programming in Jamaica Secondary School. Should be applicable to other secondary schools in the Caribbean also. Bloom's taxonomy, understanding learning or how children learn. It's the same. Planning the curriculum and its content, effective lesson planning, writing objectives, planning computer programming lessons, learning theories, teaching methods, developing teaching skills, teacher talk, demonstrations, simulation, and inquiry. Let me take off this inquiry-based learning. No, that is just a video. We actually watched that video already though. That's Jigsaw cooperative method, motivating students to learn, use of questions, and I think that's it. All right, so from those you will get your 15 multiple choice, your 5 short answer, your 2 matching, and your 3 essay type question. All right, any questions? No questions? Any issues?
I have many questions and many issues.
All right, go ahead. Let us see if we can iron them out.
Pertaining to the mock quiz that we just did a while ago, what still involves positive attitudes and motivation?
Repeat that.
What skill involves positive attitudes and motivation?
Let me just look at.
Or what area does it come under? Because like I said, I look at some of those terms and I didn't recognize them. I couldn't identify which area it was in. I just went, huh?
That one is classroom.
What question are you referring to? But that should be under that should be the reading, enhancing students to learn, enhancing students' motivation to learn. That's the name of the reading. Or the link says motivating students.
That's a matching exercise, Talia?
That's let me tell you which question it is.
Question 3.
Were they all in the same order, miss?
No. Just start
okay.
the question and tell me.
The one that says in the chapter on developing your teaching skills,
yes.
teaching skills are proposed. These are telling you right now, I recognize like maybe 3 of those skills.
All right, there is a.
Are all of those under the same motivation area?
I happen to get all, you know.
Let me show you you got all, Rosalind?
Yes, miss. Yes, for that question.
Oh,
congratulations, Rosalind.
Can you tell that?
Oh, in my voice. I got 2 wrong.
Just that question, I happen to get all for it.
Okay.
Nice.
So that's the example of your matching question.
I got 2 right. Okay. I got 2 wrong, and I didn't attempt the other 2.
Okay. But you should always attempt your questions. It says developing your teaching skills. Let me see if I can.
It's in work sometime, Taylor.
Yeah, it never worked right here. I flagged it to come back to it. Didn't realize the rest of the paper looked the way it looked, so. Right. Which section?
Let me share it and show. It says developing teaching skills.
One of those long ones. Great.
Right. It says here a list of essential teaching skills. Let me see if I can make it larger. You're seeing it? And it says planning and preparation, lesson presentation, lesson management, classroom climate, discipline, assessing pupils' progress, and reflection and evaluation.
Okay.
All right, so those are, it's from that document.
And there was a question that mentioned levels of learning. Levels?
Repeat that.
Levels of learning.
Yes. Just read that question. It says that which teaching and learning component concept? That's one. All right, ignore that one. That's an old question.
Are we going to go through the questions?
We can go through it now. One second, let me just load.
And Miss, can we expect to see, just like in this, some questions that refer to what we're learning in problem solving and Pascal?
No. That's why I mentioned that this is just a quiz. It was a mock quiz that I created for a previous class, and I just changed one question and made it available.
Well, there go any chance of my marks looking halfway decent. Okay.
Remember, we're not doing that in this course, so I won't ask you about the syntax of Pascal or Pascal language. It will be more on teaching a topic in Pascal. So, all right, let me see. Did you get to see the answers, by the way? No?
Only the ones that were like matching, the ones where we write it in.
I got to see mine.
I didn't get a chance to see mine.
I got to see your mine.
No, I wasn't done yet, and it just shut up on me.
All right, let me see if I can get the right answer. See if you can refresh. Let me see if you can go back. If you go back, if you'll be able to see it.
Yes, Miss, I see it now.
You're seeing the answers now?
Oh, thanks, Miss. Just woo. There is no need to share that, Miss. No.
You don't need to share this thing right now, please.
No, please, I beg you.
It has no grade there.
Miss, it don't matter. It have red X's. All
right, I stopped sharing.
Thank you so much.
It's not the real thing. It's just practice.
It's an indication of where we are.
But not where you're going to go.
Well, I should hope not.
Formative assessment.
Yes, Courtney. All right. All right. You're able to see the answers? Everybody was able to see the answers? No? If you go back to the test,
Yes, Miss, I see it now.
you're seeing all the answers. Try it and tell me. Refresh Dana and go back and tell me if you can see the answers to each question. Show of hands, yes, no, yes, no, yes, okay. Roslyn, are you seeing the answers to each question? Courtney, are you seeing the answers? Okay, all right, good. All right, so I don't need to go through it. All right, so.
Yes, Miss, you still need to go through it. Some of these things need explanation.
All right, which ones? All right,
And how is classroom climate a skill?
It is, you actually control the setting. You're talking about the term itself.
Yes.
Because
that would be one of the things that would automatically say, well, it can't possibly be that one because that's not a skill.
Oh.
When I read it, I said classroom management, but the only management was lesson management. And of course, yours truly had never heard that term, didn't know what the heck that was. So thus began the downward spiral. Like dirty water down a drain pipe. These were the days of my life.
Okay, Taylor. I think your students must enjoy your class.
Some of them do. Some of them get annoyed with me.
Okay. All right. Let me go back to the questions. All right. I think the problem that you have here is just the wording. It's just the word.
Miss, where exactly are the answers?
Once you should be able to go back.
I'm searching.
All right, let Taylor tell you. But you should, because I'm not seeing it as a student. But once you go back, you should be able to see your attempt and you should be able to see the answers.
Oh well. Oh, you mean once I go over it?
Go back to the quiz itself.
Oh, but I mean not all of the answers.
You're not seeing all?
No.
All right.
I see I see what I get wrong, what I get right, but not for all of them.
Okay.
I sent you a message, Ross.
Okay, Talia.
I'm still not seeing mine. I've refreshed and gone out.
Talia, where did you send that message? Is it chat? Is it WhatsApp?
Chat.
Oh, okay.
I think the only one that doesn't have an answer is the one that says there are 7 components that all well-formed lesson plans entail. And that should be there as well. The 7 components, let me see if I can paste it.
Okay, I see it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so correct me if I'm wrong, I'm seeing the answer for all of the questions except except one, which talks about the 7 components.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
That's true. I'm not seeing anything for that.
All right. So, Taylor, let's look at the questions. Let me just go through the questions. Somebody's rooster.
Muslins and rock timbers.
We need to cook one, right?
All right. Here we go. The first question I'm seeing, it says, in the chapter on developing your teaching skills, 7 essential teaching skills are proposed. And they're listed. I don't know, do you need any explanation on the seven skills, or is it that it's termed skills? Because that's what the document referred to it as, skills. But where it says classroom climate, really it should be controlling your classroom climate or something like that. But it's just really the wording of it. Because classroom climate is not a skill. So it's more the controlling of the classroom climate, or as we would put it, classroom management. Is there anything I need to explain on that? I can refer you to, okay.
Yes, Miss, did you actually use the term lesson management, or is it just from the document?
It's all of these these specific terms are from the document.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in sure. Okay. Alrighty, Miss. Sure.
All right. I mean, what I try to do is reword the things so that, but if I ask for specific terms, then, I take those, I'm looking for the answers straight from the source. But there will be terms that you are most familiar with. The next question, utilization of the cognitive learning model of instruction has the potential to improve teacher efficacy and job satisfaction. Now, this model, let me just like to find it for you. This was something that we had. Okay, somebody's knocking something. All right, I'm going to post a link that you can refer to, but we don't have a document. As I said, some of these questions are old. They came from a question bank. Let me see this. Oh, sorry, let me post this. Cognitive here. All right, I hope you're able to see that link. I am not giving you true and false questions, by the way. All right, which phrase is used to describe the inclusion of preparation that ensure that the curricula respond to the needs of all students, whether they are normal, low achieving, or gifted? And the term is differentiated instruction. So you plan, but you put in contingencies so that you can include or cater to students who are, well, who tend to complete their work quickly and need a little bit more challenge. Also students who, you know, are termed as slow or as the term here, low achieving. You have to plan for those students as well. And I think we did discuss this, some of the measures that we would put in place for such students, right? The third question, sorry.
Yes.
I'm saying it sounds vaguely familiar.
It sounds vaguely familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm familiar with it, but I did not actually state differentiated instruction. I just chose the theory that come on at multi-intelligence.
Okay.
Would that be considered as an alternative, or that to definitely say differentiated instruction?
It would have to be differentiated instruction. Multiple intelligence refers to our different styles of learning. That's what it refers to. The fact that some of us are more auditory, some like to be involved, that kind of thing, as opposed to differentiated speaks to different types. Okay, let me rephrase. Students at different levels then, let me rephrase that. Hope that's a little clearer. So it's multiple intelligence refers to your different style of learning, as opposed to differentiated instruction, which includes students at different levels. Is that clearer? Yeah? Okay. All right. Which of the following answers names a component of a lesson plan that is usually included in order to ensure that provisions are made for slower learners and its adaptations? Let me find that presentation. It's there.
Miss, for that question, is it that some of the terms were just put in there for putting their sake? Because I'm comparing that to what you sent a while ago as a part of the lesson plan. I see no adaptations. Would those come under one of those other headings?
All right, one second. Let me find the presentation for you. People. Okay. I'm sorry, Ophelia, I was reading your note. Okay, let me find that presentation for you. So it's not. Sorry, it is in one of the presentations. I'm not. Let me find it for you. Let me get back to that one. But it's in one of the presentations. All right, sorry about that. Okay, yeah, it's in a presentation. Let me share this with you, but it's not. Here it is, Celia. But the thing is, we didn't do this presentation. It says basic lesson planning. Where it says introduction to lesson planning, this presentation should be there. There's some mix-up. All right, so on the second to last slide, it says adaptations should be made for learners who are not as learned or skilled, and extensions should be made for learners who are more advanced. So it goes on, slower learners, advanced learners, and so on. All right, so as I said, some of these, remember, it came from the question bank, so some of the presentations we didn't use. All right, let's go through the questions quickly. The next one says, which teaching and learning concept supports the belief that teachers who think at higher levels than their students produce students who are higher achieving, more cooperative, and better at solving problems? Cognitive coaching. We did not look at this either. The next question, the 7 components that are all well-formed lesson plans entail. I gave you the list. You should see it in your chat. Introduction, content sharing, application, information, analysis or questioning, dependent or independent practice, evaluation, and assessment of learning. And if you look at there is a document that looks at lesson planning or instructional delivery. It has it in it. All right, another true and false discovery: teaching is a highly motivating teaching technique as it involves one learner or group solving problems that are presented to them by a computer. And that one is false. The problem doesn't have to be presented by a computer, by the way. It can be presented in any format.
Miss?
Yes?
The questions that ask about the teaching and learning concept, those are the ones related to the theorists, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so if we see teaching and learning concept or we see theorist, it's the same area, the constructivist, Vygotsky, the memory model, Atkinson and Schifrin, that sort of thing.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. All right, the next question says, which of the answers, and make sure I'm not skipping anything, which of the answers best is below is the best analogy for what a computer program is, and the answer is a recipe. Because it's a guide or a set of instructions giving the
I disagree with this.
You disagree? Which one do you think is a script?
Yes. A recipe would be best for an algorithm, not for a computer program.
Or a lesson plan.
Yes.
But you...
So I think the more appropriate answer would be script there, but that's just me saying.
And I take your comment. And that could be changed. Yeah.
In fact, most software refer to it as a script, actually, like JavaScript.
Yes. All right, so that one needs to be changed. That one needs to be changed. All right, so repeat.
I got wrong. Joy. Today is just going really great. Thanks, Courtney. It's great.
Now, well, if in a case like that, if I were to make such a mistake, then I would have to give everyone that point, because, or those who answer both, I'd have to give them the point. It would be a situation like that. But I'll make sure I don't make such a mistake. The ninth one, tutorial support the claim that 2 or 3 children working together will learn more than one child working on his own. That's false. It's a theory that supports that. Constructivism, or more specifically, I think it's Dewey's social constructivist theory. You can, it's in the document on learning theories. You can look at that. 10 possible ways to teach. They've listed 8, and the other 2 are, yes, go ahead.
Did you do the one for question 8?
Question 8 was, which of the answers best is the best analogy?
No, which phrase describes an approach to teaching and learning?
No, I've done that one yet.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet. I'm just going in order of the questions that I'm just going in order here. Right, so the 11, right, so as I said, 10, the answers, tutorial and problem solving. 11, according to Ormrod, who is another information processing theorist. Information is sensed through receptors, and they have listed the parts there, and that is true. That is also in the learning theories presentation, right? Which approach to instruction is associated with this? I have been a teacher of CAPE CXC for over 3 years, let my students participate in group work, cause them to generate their own knowledge, hate to use methods that ask them to write programs exactly the way that I do it, and so on and so forth. And the answer is, which approach to instruction? Constructivism. All right, what name is given to a program that looks at each English word in a statement once and converts it into a code that the computer understands directly? It's compiler. Technically, you would be correct here. Courtney, I'm actually looking at your answers. All right, down to your question, Rosalind. Which phrase?
Interpreter, miss.
Repeat that.
Was his answer interpreter?
No, it had a spelling error. I'm sorry, Courtney. I didn't know if you wanted me to say that.
That's fine, miss.
Because based on how the question was stated, I swore blind it was interpreter. But
Okay.
I'm learning today that I don't know as much as I think. So.
You're sounding a little bit
Defeated, over it, so done, yes, miss. When class is over, me to find a nice quiet corner and go and cuddle and ball.
failure. No. Can you imagine what Rosalind and the rest are going through? You know, it's
Yes, we shall ball together. I see it on their faces.
it's not
And
that
at the end of this, we are rewarded with more hard work. Yay!
Miss,
Yes, go ahead.
use the number 4.
Repeat.
Number 4. Question
Okay,
4.
what is your number 4?
What is a number that changes in value throughout a computer
Right, I
program called?
haven't done that one yet. It's the next question.
Miss,
Okay.
Yes.
the one that I got wrong for the spelling, the fact that you can identify, would it be correct?
I would give it to you. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I heard him.
Okay. All right. And what name is given to, well, we looked at one. Which phrase best describes an approach to teaching and learning that supports the belief that knowledge has a separate, real existence of its own outside the human mind, and it's objectivist? It's not a term that we used, so you wouldn't be familiar with the term unless you encountered it outside. So it's not something that we use. So, Rosalind, you're not getting any question on that, okay? The next question, what is a number that changes in value throughout a computer program called? And it is variable. I am assuming that most, if not all, got that one. All right, and this question here repeats itself. An approach to teaching and learning that supports the belief that knowledge has a separate real existence. All right, so. All right, any comments on that?
Need to do some deep studying, man.
I want to say thanks, Miss, for this little experience. I asked and you delivered. Thank you.
You're welcome. I apologize if it depressed some people.
Well, just knowing that it's not going to be graded.
Okay.
It feel okay. So
It's to be depressed now than in the exam. God knows we have had that experience several times.
Okay. All right. So I will make sure I will stick to the ones that say test. I will stick to that. I will make sure that the questions are clear, that the instructions are clear, and that we don't have any sort of ambiguity, anything like that. Okay? I think something, Ophelia?
No, Rosalind.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Miss.
Yes.
The essay type question that you mentioned, the one that asks for the the 7 thing. That's the example for the essay type question that you're talking?
I would give you something more detailed. But it's, yeah, that's an example. But I'd ask you also to list and to discuss, to talk about the 7 types. So, but it would be something a little bit more detailed than that.
That's it, everyone?
I think.
Nobody else has anything to say?
Okay.
Okay, Miss, I just want to tell you thanks a lot. There was a lot to learn. I learned a lot. And I'm sure other persons learned a lot. You're a great lecturer. I hope to see you one day.
I hope so too.
I am expecting you.
Okay.
I think it was worth it.
I'm glad.
I'm supporting you on that.
I see Taylor supporting you on that one.
That's it. Well done, Miss.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I'm glad at least you enjoyed the experience. I know it has been stressful on everybody. I know it has been very hectic. The past couple of weeks were very hectic for myself. Taylor knows a bit about that. With yes, had family here and all kinds of things. But I am glad that I could meet this wonderful group of persons. Your personalities just gelled together, and it just made life so much easier. I really want to come and meet all of you in Dominica and St. Lucia. I look forward to that experience. I don't know when that will be though, but you'll see Dr. Morris shortly, and I will follow sometime later. But I do hope that at least you remember some of it and apply it. If it's even next year, Thalia, I hope that it will be helpful for you and you'll get a chance to utilize it. Some of it, as I said, you've been doing it already. It's just that we've never really formalized it and had these terms. Some of these classroom management strategies that you do, you use them daily. It's just that you weren't taught it formally then. But good experience, and I hope you can start resting now, get some rest. No, oh my gosh, Dana said no.
What part of rest, Miss? We don't need to sort of
no rest
on Friday. And
after exam.
Miss.
Okay, all right.
We have
I won't mention.
We have portfolio. There's no time for rest.
All right. I feel sorry because your exam is all the way on the 25th. I think that was far because it means that. But then again, with portfolio due on the 21st, I mean, I can understand why exam is all the way the 25th. So it's rough. I know it's rough. But at the end of it all, I would have said it, as Ophelia said, it's worth it. So I feel happy about that.
Miss, did I hear you say exam is on the 25th?
Not my exam.
Oh, okay.
Your other exam. Didn't you see the date?
They just sent it. Check your mail.
Oh, in my mail.
Yeah.
I'll check that later.
Ophelia posted it in the chat. Yes?
Well, I speak for myself here, but I'm sure others may have the issue as well.
Okay.
I think my only great problem is to really come up with the lesson plan thing. Really struggling on it because whilst I can say I know how to do the content and all of that, I don't know if I'm fully getting this lesson planning thing well, but I'll try to do what I can. I noticed that you still have not sent that sample one that you promised.
Yes, she did. She did.
I actually posted it.
Oh, you posted it?
Yes, it's in the container.
So let me take that back then, because I was late from class. So
okay, no problem.
I'll take a look on that one, and then probably made things a little clearer. But otherwise, from that, I think, the course content was really good, and you attempted to really bring across the things in an understandable and understanding manner, given that, some of us, like myself and the others, that, well, I'm not teaching, and others may not be teaching IT per se. So I'm glad that, really took the time to go through with us.
Yeah, you're welcome. What is interesting though, I mean, Taylor and Dexton both have the experience teaching and the knowledge teaching information technology. But Courtney, you have the knowledge, the depth of knowledge in information technology and computer science. But you don't have the teaching experience, while Dana, Ophelia, Rosalind, and Jessica might not. Well, they've taught information technology, but not at this level.
Not me.
Or never taught computer science.
Never taught.
So it's an interesting mix of skills and background. But I think we all helped each other to get through it. And I think everybody will be better for it. And I'm quite sure you'll do well when practicum time comes around. So, and of course, if there are any questions that you have, you know how to contact me. As it was Rosalind who said I might respond 3 days, but at least I will reply, right? So you feel free to contact me if anything. Okay?
Better late than never.
Quite so.
Can we request that you be one of those persons evaluated? I am not sure. Well, since you are... I'm just saying, if you can put in a word, I'll be most appreciable if you're one of them.
I think that... I'm not sure.
Second, third, and fourth, that suggestion. Do we need to put it in writing?
I don't know if you have any say as it regards to that.
Really?
Dr. Morris will come and assess you.
So what about me in Dominica now?
I don't know. I don't know.
Dominica sites.
Repeat that, Dana.
I think they use people from the site.
Yes, I think so. That's part of why Dr. Daly Morris, and I think maybe others are coming to visit. They're going to train persons or talk to persons, and so that they're aware of what we actually look for and so on, and so that they can assess you. So, Courtney and Taylor, you stand a chance, but I'm not sure. I'm normally assigned, so I might be assessing the undergrads, but I don't know if I'll be assessing postgrad students this time around. So it depends. Taylor, I can mention it, Taylor. I can mention it.
Yeah, that would be greatly appreciated.
I'm going to put in some serious prayer time.
Ophelia, what I hear?
She can come. She will come. I'm waiting for her patient.
Well, I'm waiting for her too in Dominica.
I agree, Rosalind.
Wow.
Stir up some plum jam and some
Oh yes.
cayenne mango. Preserve some cayenne mango. Yes.
Some guava and some ackee.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
You're kind of ackee.
All right.
Okay, miss.
Rosalind, you
I have
can put
my
one of your
few
neighbor's chickens.
Yeah, I will cook. Miss, I'm going to use some strong terms there. I have to say, I want to give my final words. Well, I hope it's not, well, it's not final. It's just for this class, right? I must say that I think that you are a darling and you are sweet. Really, you are a darling lecturer. And I really am thankful that, I had this experience to meet you.
Okay.
I must say, there are some other classes that I enjoy, but not one bit this class. Okay. And I think it's because of your attitude. So easygoing, so sweet, and I'm truly, I've learned from this.
Okay.
I'm learning, and I've learned from this. Just looking at you, the way you deal with us, how flexible you are. You know, this helped to make me feel so comfortable in the
Okay.
class and really just be myself, you know. And I really want to thank you, and may God bless you. And I just wish you were the one that's gonna evaluate me. But yeah, just keep the sweet spirit, and I hope that someday you'll teach me again, or maybe we'll meet somewhere
Yeah.
and just, you know, enjoy lunch, enjoy something.
Okay. Thank you very much, Roslyn. You're motivating me now. All right. Yes, Courtney, you had something to say?
Yes, I was just going to say that whilst I might not be able to, but I think we all can say, you know, we can confirm you an honorary doctor.
Thank you. Thank you. I wish I could skip all the work that is to come.
I agree. I agree, Dr. Berry. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Of course, you can't just skip over the doctor and jump straight to
You're welcome, miss. You're welcome.
Professor Berry. It sounds good. Rolls off the tongue.
It rolls off the tongue. I like that too. I like it. I see it. I'm going after it. I see it. It might be the distance, but I see it.
You have to envision it, you know?
Yes. All right, you lovely people. Somebody needs to update Dexton. Jessica said she would be gone for 5 minutes. I think 5 minutes ended a couple minutes ago.
I don't think she's doing well.
Okay. All right. So you can update her on what we did. And
Okay.
we will keep in touch. And you enjoy the rest of your afternoon. And I'm sure I'll see you again. If not, you can contact me and we can chat. Okay?
Will we see you on Monday, miss?
If what?
Will we see you on Monday?
Yes. Because you have to be in the lab, correct?
Correct. And to the rest of you, we get to see her on Monday.
Will I get to see her?
I don't know.
I will not see Miss.
No.
Talia and Courtney gets everything.
They're the most
I'll have to
sporty.
travel to Jamaica.
Oh,
Yeah.
tell us when you're coming.
That's what we're
There's
waiting
some lunch with
on.
with my Miss Berry. Oh God.
Christmas sound good. Yes, y'all
Very.
plan and come Christmas, we'll meet up. It sounds like a plan.
Yes. See, we plan already. We have 4 months. Can get it sorted out.
Okay.
So bring some EC dollars with you.
Yes. I bring you West.
And bring some files. She has to bring files too.
Oh, Lord.
Maybe you can freeze them and season and freeze them and then bring them.
Yes.
And if you do the same for the guava. And then Dana, that means that you have to carry the cayenne mango.
No, I have about
Right.
8 of them there.
Dinner.
Yes. Them. Sound like a plan.
Yeah. Maybe
We'll
if
all
we
stop
get to
at Courtney's
graduate.
house.
I will bring everything else. And the
If we
cake.
get to graduate, Celia.
Hmm?
If we get to graduate, maybe we might meet.
Well, one of these days, God is good all the time and miracles still happen in 2015. So yeah,
You will
And
graduate.
remember that was
we might again sort of make it.
and Talia, remember that was my dream, so we might meet.
Exactly.
It has become a reality.
Mm-hmm. Advanced learning.
Yeah.
I
Miss,
like
I
it.
always wanted to study in Jamaica.
Yes?
Mhm.
Tell me when you're coming.
Ophelia, are you crying? I see you
We'll get
wiping your
that
eyes.
sorted out.
Dry.
Trash from the coconut tree.
I can't come again.
I think I'm going to stop this recording right now.
Alrighty, miss.